And whenever I do dedicated sponsored videos like this, I only have one stipulation, that I get complete creative control of the video and I can say whatever I want about it.
You can't have the creative freedom to say what you want about a certain product if you're being paid to promote it. The very idea of promoting it would mean that you can't say anything negative at all, because that would harm any sort of value to the customer. Sup, it's Halfrican-Jones, and today, kind of wanted to explain myself, where I've been for the past year or so. So since I felt completely depressed and let down by a certain personality that infected my childhood, you all can pretty much tell from the previous video. That's a whole train wreck in and of itself, but I wanted to rethink a lot what I was doing with my personal life, the people I was connected with, who I am as a person, and, you know, what I plan to do creatively in the long term. I honestly just need to make sure that this is proper quality and fair between everyone working on it before I have anything to say about it publicly. But as for the moment, this channel will and always forever be a garbage dump where I will always discuss people who piss me the hell off to no end, or organizations that have no sense of a guarantee or no sense of thankfulness for their own audience. And one of these people that has no thanks for their audience and no integrity whatsoever at this moment is the Act Man. Now, don't mind that word salad I just gave you, but oh my dear Lord, like, the Act Man, I understand that there's a whole controversy going on between him and Heaves Babyface regarding this Starfield pronoun rant that Heaves had.
Fucking pronouns!
While I don't really agree with how aggressive Heaves was about the fact that there was a non-binary option in a video game that takes place in the future, that's besides the point. I don't personally like how Act Man reframed Heaves Babyface to be a complete bigot in his video, and not to mention, after reading the leaked DMs between Act Man and Mahler, I just kind of was like, Act Man, like, why are you trying to drag this out even further to look like the good guy in the end? Especially trying to get involved with the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy. Look, that's a whole issue in and of itself, and I'm not fully educated on that yet to even give a full comment. I genuinely recommend you check out the Kurtosis video.
I just spend 30, 35, 40 hours on a video. What am I gonna do, just scrap it?
Yes, making videos can take a lot of work, but that doesn't justify releasing known misinformation to your massive fan base, thus causing people to believe falsehoods about Az, and make the shit he's getting from this controversy even worse.
Or anyone that was involved in that Twitter chat. Like, I just honestly don't involve myself in the Twitter side of things for a good reason, because I feel like it's just personal beef between certain personalities getting out of control and affecting their audiences in the meanwhile. I just don't think it's a good idea. But the thing that pisses me off about Act Man that I think isn't being talked about enough, because a lot of other gaming reviewers are still doing this to this day. Like, remember the first video I made on Nerd Slayer and how he was trying to promote Ark of Nepishdom? This is the same fucking shit we've seen with several video game reviewers and Rage Shadow Legends. Again, there is no shame in getting the bag. The biggest concerns I have here is that the whole video, the whole video is surrounding an ad for a game that he does not care about because he can't even fucking pronounce the title right. That mobile game that was a remake of an old JRPG that he was lying. I'm sorry, I'm calling it like I see it. I personally, in my personal opinion, not a fact, but my personal opinion, I allege that Nerd Slayer was lying about the idea that he had any creative freedom or any personal investment in Ark of Nepishdom whatsoever. I personally believe that he needed to satisfy a contract to advertise a game that was hypocritical of all of his personal gold standards to MMOs. he would rather promote a game that functions as a microtransaction gotcha slot out of an old JRPG that never acted like that in the first place. Here, we have Actman pulling the same sort of tactic, promoting games that genuinely go against his ideals about what makes a good video game. Remember his whole beginning of his career, it's almost been 9 years ago that Halo 5 Guardians came out, and he had a whole series covering all the issues with the game's story and its core gameplay that most of it I agreed with, because Halo 5 story to this day is just pure garbage and does not make any sense, and it is another garbage attempt at Microsoft soft rebooting the Halo series. And Actman pretty much was trying to nail down every single point about why Halo fans were pissed off about the game.
It's become such an overemphasized part of so many games that it's not special. In Halo 5, it got to a point where simply opening the packs was a chore for me. But fuck, I'd rather do the dishes than open all these worthless packs. You know what's more rewarding than getting lucky? Actually accomplishing something. Like slaying that huge boss to get his armor, or making something that impresses Bungie enough for them to give you recon. And that reward shows because you and everyone else knows what it took to get that thing. It's like partying Santa hats in RuneScape. You are either rich enough to buy a Hawaiian island.
Years later, he's doing so many more retrospectives about the Halo series and the Call of Duty franchise, and even talking about old video game controversies. However, I don't think he's a genuine person, because look, we all tolerated his Warhammer Darktide and his Genshin Impact sponsored videos, and we all tolerated the fact that, you know, like, that the World of series, you know, those mobile, like, World of Warships, World of Tanks, you know, they would do partnerships with him and sponsors, but we understood, you know, like, that these were just advertisements. We didn't have any issues with that at the time. The one reason why it has become a full issue and why nobody trusts him anymore after the fact is his video on Payday 3, which he has not taken down to this day. He has a video titled...
Yes, Payday 3 is a certified banger.
So, keep this in mind. Why the hell are you titling a sponsored ad video where the game wasn't even finished or released yet, so he had no idea about the state that it was going to be in when it released, which I understand personally. But what I don't get is the fact that he wasn't able to, you know, make a follow-up video on the fact that the game ran like garbage. What?
If you do play Payday 3, I think you'll have a great time clowning around with the homies.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Oh my god, like, why? Like, keep in mind, Big Fry TV came out and admitted so much about what was going on behind the scenes between him and Starbreeze, about how he was going to help promote the game, and how he had no idea about how the launch date was going to be, and he commented on how terrible the launch date was.
All I said was the devs hit me up, I grabbed my girlfriend, jumped in the game, here's the game. And we did 20 minutes of just raw gameplay. If you guys like it, click the link. If not, there you go. And I've been trying to move away from putting opinions in these videos because you guys don't give a fuck because you think I'm lying. Even though I know on the back end, I've turned down like just tens of thousands of dollars in sponsorships for stuff that I know either I don't jive with, you don't jive with, or a combination of the two.
He did everything by the letter that he was agreed to in his contract. Angry Joe, he actually bothered to mention it.
Payday 3. How does a formula so simple get botched at release this bad?
And even mentioned how it was one of the most disappointing games of that year. Keep in mind, Joe could have been a little bit more angry about what actually went down.
That's what I've had enough of. Battlefield 4, you done fucked it up. You done fucked
fucked up Battlefield 4. You want to know why? Oh, to increase your bottom line, right? Oh, does the game work right? No. Does Siege of Shanghai crash every 5 seconds when the building explodes? Yes. Is it fucking garbage? Does shit run like garbage? None of it is optimized? Yeah. Well, guess why that is? Because perhaps DICE asked you for some extra time. Because I know for a goddamn fact that DICE wouldn't let something this fucking buggy come out the door.
And, you know, like, and also Angry Joe does have sponsored video game ad videos, but however, those are separate and made like separate from the angry reviews. It's not edited the same way, and it's not even a review whatsoever. How the Angry Joe and Big Fry do sponsored video game ad videos is that they'll have a bunch of clips from their stream and pretty much have that play at the end of their initial impressions that they had about the game. It's not posed as a hypothetical review like the
Payday 3 is a certified banger.
video was. By the way, I should mention to Big Fry, if you're watching this right now, which I doubt it, I don't blame you for what happened with Payday 3. I know I got a bit heated with you when I was defending Kingard for calling you Angry Joe and Act Man out, but Kingard and I am willing to recognize the fact that you were willing to talk about it. You were willing to be honest and transparent about it, and you didn't hide away from anything. What Act Man did, he just only left one post, one community post where he discussed that he didn't expect the game to launch in the state that it was. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think it made any sense to any of you who agree with me watching this video, who know about what went down. Like, I mean, I understand that Act Man, he lost a lot trying to fight Quantum TV, the maniac homophobe that was going around banning which account left and right that disagreed with him for very, very simple ass opinions. That's a whole story in and of itself, and you guys just need to look up the Quantum TV controversy in order to understand what I'm talking about. But I understand that he took a financial hit after Quantum screwed over his channel for the longest time. But I didn't expect that that Act would become so desperate that he was promoting like mobile gacha games like Genshin Impact and a game review, a game ad that he made for a game called AFK Journey. That video that he uploaded, I can't find any evidence of it anywhere. AFK Journey. If any of you know what I'm talking about, I need to just repeat it again. He made a video of a mobile game, AFK Journey. They sponsored him to make a full video on it, and it's deleted. It's gone. He was called out for it left and right, with people, including myself in the comments section, typing Payday 3, or, you know, any of the other sponsored video game ads that he was doing over these last few months. And I don't understand why he's been so disingenuous about this. But it kind of adds to his character, given the accusations about him pretty much not being genuine about his arguments about Heave's babyface, ergo him leaking DMs from Mauler without Mauler's consent.
I'm fine with his videos about me being up. I didn't think he was the type of guy to let stuff like that bother him too much. Miscalculation on my part. Rules for thee, but not for me. I get to talk shit. You can't make content about this, Act Man. No. Only I get to.
That was wrong. That was genuinely wrong. Yeah, honestly, like, it kind of pains me to see that, you know, even after a year, that barely anybody has called out most of these sponsored video game, like, full ad videos. Because they are full ad videos. And I'm tired of trying to pretend that they're anything but. And the fact that Act is still not willing to talk about Payday 3. There's still not been a video addressing what's happened. And a community post, I'm sorry, that's still not enough. And the fact that you still have a video that is positively promoting the game before it ever came out, it's still up on your channel, either because you're afraid of taking it down because it will make you look worse because everyone's pointed out the fact that you made that video in the first place. Number two, you cannot take it down because you're under contract with Starbreeze to keep it up because of the fact that you were sponsored by them in the first place. Or number three is that you just need the ad revenue because you're that desperate and you're not willing to say directly or have a short video where you have to advertise a Patreon or to join the YouTube membership button or to subscribe to you on Twitch. Or you could have found other sponsors. Like, you chose to be quick and easy. You chose to support these games that were disingenuous in the case of Payday 3 or went against your views, like the gacha game Genshin Impact.
Of course, this brings us to the big elephant in the room, the gacha system, also known by a different term, loot boxes. I just barely understand how the currencies work, and I think that's a good thing because if opening my wallet was essential to playing and progressing the game, I would have to understand the gacha system, but I don't feel like I need to. Now you can get weapons, characters, and loot through the wishes, but as far as I've played, I've never felt compelled to buy anything or felt that the game was forcing me to.
Liar! But the biggest point I want to nail home is all these RNG MT systems, they never make the game better. Show me one example of a game that has microtransactions and is better off because of it. It saps the creativity of the game. It eliminates a more rewarding unlock system. It provides a potential pay-to-win streak for some people, and most of the time, it's sleazy as hell. The one exception being Titanfall 2, because what you buy isn't in the base game, yet the base game feels complete and there's no bullshit.
Like, I just don't know what to think about your opinions about AAA gaming if you're that fickle to support the rot that went inside of it in the first place. Because, again, you got to realize every person that takes your discount membership for any of these mobile games or any of these games that sponsored you, every check that you get a cut of and that this big company gets a cut of, that's money that these customers are putting into more and more of microtransactions and predatory practices being in all of mainstream gaming. Money talks. Voting with your wallet talks. And you chose your side. You especially chose your side when you didn't even bother to take down the Payday 3 video, when it's not genuine of how broken the game was at its launch.
Yeah, this is the Payday 3 launch experience. I'm sure Logan Paul's CryptoZoo, enjoyers will probably get paid back a lot quicker than it'll take Starbreeze to fix these servers.
And how abandoned it is now.
The game launched, and it launched to a fanfare of 69,000 people, all-time peak. Okay, that's a perfect number. Just a few hundred shy. And of course, right now, the sequel is at 310 players as of an hour ago. That is actually the average amount of players you can expect. I mean, you're looking at peaks of 415 people, but generally, there are times where this game goes down to absolutely 0 players on Steam.
And no, a few hundred players is not going to cut how much damage was done to the Payday legacy. The fact that you sold your integrity for a game that failed, a live service that you complain about failed. You're a hypocrite, Act Man. Sorry. This is me, Halfrican-Jones, and I'm gonna go flay alive for this hot take that I've done.
Just remember, microtransactions are meant to exploit you, to dangle shiny trinkets in your face and coerce you to buy them. It's meant to be an endless grind so there is no limit to what people can spend, and it's meant to be an addicting experience so you keep coming back.
Ironic.